28, 2023. Want to make reference that if you have any of the electronic devices on you, please silence them so they will not disturb the board meeting. I will ask the village clerk to call the roll.
Trustee Clare.
Here.
Trustee Sullivan.
Present.
Trustee Dunham.
Here.
Trustee Madej.
Present.
Trustee Bishki.
Present.
Trustee Patel is absent. President Daly.
Present. We have 5
Thank you,
trustees,
Bruce.
1 mayor present. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Clare, would you like to do us the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next item is the approval of minutes for February 14th, 2023. Questions, comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you. Next item is the approval of expenditures, $4,557,519.66. Questions, comments? For a motion to approve?
Move to approve expenditures as
Second.
presented.
We have a motion and a second to approve the expenditures as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel absent. Trustee Clare.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you. Now, presentations. We have, where did he go? Oh, he's over here. Okay. Came around a corner where you disappeared. We have a presentation of a 30-year service award to Jeffrey Knight, the fire department paramedic. So I will, if that's quite all right, I'm going to read this. So let me open this up. And you have your daughter with you, right? Okay. So. All right. So I got to open up this whole thing here. So bear with me a second.
Gave him too many.
Okay. Well, why don't you step on up here? So this is to Jeffrey Knight, fire lieutenant, paramedic, in recognition of 30 years. 30 years, folks. This is what 30 years looks like. So still looking pretty good. Dedicated service to the village of Schaumburg from 1993 to 2023. Grateful appreciation from the village president, the village board, village clerk, and the staff of the village of Schaumburg. So thank you very much. So we do a picture over here. Let me take my glass. Okay, so I'm going to give you okay? All right, so, all right. That's all right, that's all right, I'll get to it, not a problem. There you go. Thanks.
Congrats to Jeff.
Losing everything. Okay, next item is liquor license requests. We have a request from Mr. Michael Shoemaker for 1 Class F1 liquor license for Michael's on Main Cafe located at 150 North Martingale Road. Is the petitioner here? Yes. Wow, you know how close, please come up. Do you know how close your name, Michael Schumacher, you ever get called that?
Often.
For a famous Formula One driver, and you're looking for an F1 license too. Whoa, that's kind of creepy. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, please sign in and then state your name and address for the record, and ask you to tell us what you're up to.
Okay, it's Michael Shoemaker, and reside at 4730 Stonebridge Court in Elgin, Illinois. And we, we own a company called Michael's on Main Cafe. One of our operations is at 150 North Martingale Road, and ownership has requested that I pursue a beer and wine liquor license for the tenants of the building as a possible amenity. We operate the cafe, deli, as well as a Starbucks inside the building. So he's trying to encourage people to come back to
Sure.
work.
Okay. Sounds good. So no other changes to the business?
Pardon?
No other changes to the
No.
business?
Nope.
No. Okay. Questions, comments from the board? Trustee
Trying to
Dunham?
figure out where that is. Is that the building at the northwest corner? The big?
Yeah, it's right next to the Marriott on Martingale,
To the north or the south?
to the north.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Other questions, comments? No. All right. Then we ask that you visit the Liquor Commissioner's office, which is also the mayor's office upstairs, during normal business hours. There'll be an application you need to fill out, fees you need to submit, you go through a background check. Once all that is completed and passed, then a liquor license will be issued.
Great,
Okay?
perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
You're welcome to stay or leave.
Okay,
All right?
thanks.
Thank you. Consent agenda. We have consent agenda that will be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that item when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda and discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda? Thank you.
Number 1, liquor licenses. The motion will be to approve the request from Tony Lafayette of the Schaumburg Park District for 2 Class D one-day liquor licenses for canvas and wine event on March 11th, 2023 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and April 8th from 2023 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Schaumburg Park District Community Recreation Center. B, the motion would be to approve the request from Tony Lafayette of Schaumburg Park District for 1 Class D one-day liquor license for canvas and wine event on February the 11th, 2023 from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Schaumburg Park District Community Recreation Center. Engineering and Public Works. The motion would be to approve a 1-year contract extension for the HVAC repair and maintenance services to Haynes Mechanical of Chicago, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed the approved year-to-date 23-24 budget. B, the motion would be to execute an agreement for the Wind Trust Field Audio Replacement and Enhancement Project with Visua of La Crosse, Wisconsin, in the amount of $234,500 and approve the required resolution. C, the motion would be to award the 2023 concrete repair program to Schroeder and Schroeder, Inc. of Skokie, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed the approved year-to-date budget 23-24. D, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for the 90 North Park Phase 2 design services with Site Design Group Limited of Chicago, Illinois, in the amount of $216,410 and approve the required resolution. 3, Finance, Legal, Administrative, and General Government. The motion would be to approve the Finance Department monthly report for January 2023. B, the motion will be to approve the proposal from Fantasy Amusement Company, Inc. of Arlington Heights, Illinois, and award the September Fest Carnival contract. C, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for September Fest main stage production with Creative Audio of Rockford, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $77,456.25 and approve the required resolution. D, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance amending the municipal code for revised water and sewer rates, Title III, Chapter 41, Section 41.01, fee schedule, effective May 1st, 2023. E, the motion would be to approve a resolution authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute the First Amendment to the redevelopment agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and SD Construct LLC for 40 South Roselle Road. E, the motion would be to maintain a $10 business license account fee for the Schaumburg Business Association for an estimated total of $50,000 and approve a resolution authorizing the execution of the 2023 Partnership Agreement and Economic Services. 4, Committee of the Whole. The motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute an agreement with perfectgift.com to issue $150 gift certificates to Schaumburg homeowners as the payment method for the residential rebate program. B, the motion would be to direct staff to draft a code amendment for review by the Zoning Board of Appeals. C, the motion would be to deny a short-term parking variation for the Dental Store Limited, 1061 South Roselle Road. 5, Plan Commission. A, the motion would be to approve Old Schaumburg Center architectural review for East Residence, 107 Lingle Drive. 6, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve a site plan approval, preliminary and final plat approval, Old Schaumburg Center architectural approval, special use for a Type A restaurant, parking variation and landscape variations for Hopscotch, 40 South Roselle Road. B, the motion would be to approve a special use for an assembly space for Aliyun Wali Allah Shah Islamic Center, Inc., 951 North Plum Grove Road, Suite F to G.
I can just make a quick note. The board should have a modified or revised ordinance on that, allowing the petitioner certificate of occupancy within 1 year from the date of approval of any interior alteration work. Combined spaces will require an issuance of building permits. If not, then a certificate of occupancy will be required for each space. Just a note to that, so you should have that revised.
7, traffic agreements. The motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the traffic agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Woodfield Resident Court, LLC, located at 1140, 1160, and 1180 Plaza Drive. 8, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as resolution R23-014, approving and authorizing the execution of a consulting talent buying agreement between Village of Schaumburg and Creative Audio. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution R23-015, authorizing First Amendment to redevelopment agreement for 40 South Roselle Road between the Village of Schaumburg and SD Construct LLC. C, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number 23-016, authorizing village funding to Schaumburg Business Association for economic services. D, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number 23-017, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for the Wind Trust Field audio replacement and enhancement project with Visua. E, the motion would be to adopt as resolution R23-018, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for 90 North Park, Phase 2 design services with Site Design Group LLD. 9, ordinances. The motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-019, granting approval for Old Schaumburg Center architectural review, 107 Lingle Drive. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-020, granting site plan approval, preliminary and final plat approval, Old Schaumburg Center architectural approval, special use for a Type A restaurant, parking variation, and landscape variations for Hopscotch, 40 South Roselle Road. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-021, granting a special use for an assembly space for Aliyun Wali Allah Shia Islamic Center, Inc., 951 North Plum Grove Road, Suite F to G. D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-022, amending the municipal code for revised water and sewer rates, Title III, Chapter 41, Section 41.01, fee schedule. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as read. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel absent. Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is, we have committee reports. There is none listed for this evening. Comments from the audience. This is an opportunity to address items that are pertinent towards the village of Schaumburg. Please step forward. Okay, moving on. Council report? Okay. President's report, I have a few items. One is committee member removals and appointments. I had sent a memo out indicating for the Business Development Commission the removal of Chris Nelson and Anthony Signorelli, who are both with Comcast. One is the primary, second one's the alternate for that commission. They're just, quite frankly, too busy, but they do have a replacement, so we are keeping Comcast on there. Chris Fiera, thank you, as the primary, and Francisco Coral for the alternate, both from Comcast. Look for agreement on that.
So moved. Second.
So a motion and a second to agree with the removal and replacements. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate that. Next item is a recommendation from myself as Liquor Commissioner to approve an ordinance establishing a fee for the Class K2. I believe you were all notified of this situation. So this was actually, the Class K2 was passed in December 2021, and somehow or another it slipped through without any fee. So we went to apply it to someone and went, how much? The question was not a matter of the class, it was just a matter of the fee. The fee has been priced so that it is $1,800, which is similar to other classes in the same type of category and performing the same thing. So I'm going to ask if I may get approval on establishing the fee at $1,800.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Do we want to bundle it together with the ordinance or take it separate?
Taking them separate, whatever you want to do.
Either way.
Okay.
Okay, separate's fine.
Okay.
Trustee Patel is absent. Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
Thank you. 5 ayes, no nays. We are in agreement. The next item is, as Trustee Bishki said, is the ordinance for that item, which would be ordinance number 23-023, ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 41, Section 41.01 of the Schaumburg Village Code, establishing a fee for the Class K2 liquor license. And the motion is
To
to...
waive first reading. Sorry.
Quite all right. Thank you. Don't want to miss it. So,
So moved.
motion,
Second.
second. Motion and a second to waive first reading and pass the ordinance. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel absent. Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I know these things normally go to finance. In this case, it was just a fee, so we already had agreed on that. So thank you for allowing it to come here. We'll be able to get this license out right away. Last item I have is from Ascension, St. Alexis. And this was to Fire Chief Walters, February 7th. And it's from Karen Buchanan. She's got a whole lot of alphabets after her name. but at any rate, she's a manager of trauma services, and she was also handling the emergency department staff. I wanted to personally thank the members of the hazmat team for their knowledge and calming presence on Sunday, January 22nd. Patient had been exposed to chemical agent, presented the emergency department with inhalation injuries. And suffice it to say that the hazmat team divided, conquered, took care of all the things that needed to be done. The team leader was Captain Tom Lally, and worked closely with the ED physician and those there, including Illinois Poison Control, to help bridge the gap between the patient decontamination expectations and the subsequent medical management of the patient. So they went on to say they want to extend their appreciation to the hazmat team and all crew members who were on scene to help in this touchy situation. So the patient was ultimately discharged from the hospital and is receiving the additional medical care she needs. So very good outcome. Thank you. So, that's all I have. President's report. Manager's report.
I have no report.
No report this evening. New business? No new business. Unfinished business? Nope. Trustee comments and mentions? Nope. Okay, then I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
The new picture?